Hello, everyone. My name is Paul Schneiderman. I'm a 1997 graduate of CLU University School of Law. I've been practicing law since 97. I've had my own firm, law offices of Paul L. Schneiderman, since 2000. Just celebrated my law firm anniversary party and my 25th law firm anniversary party, I should say. And if you want to reach me, you can get me at plslawoffices at AOL.com, and my website is plslawoffices.com. Okay, the topic today is good word of mouth marketing. And I'm very honored to have this opportunity to speak to the Seattle University School of Law Business and Entrepreneurship Law Association. I've got to know Brad Ferber a bit this year and last year. Good guy, and I'm very honored to be asked to give this presentation. So today, I'm not going to hit too much on all the sophisticated forms of technological marketing, like search engine optimization and YouTube videos and all that stuff. I'm just going to focus today on some pretty common sense, practical tips for good word of mouth marketing. And I'm continuing to learn a lot myself as these years go on. Um, Today, the chat will involve a little bit about etiquette and manners in a lot of ways, and I'm certainly not claiming to be perfect. But I always think back about that 1988 book by Robert Fulghum. He wrote a book called All I Really Need to Know I Learned in Kindergarten. And Fulghum had a couple other books as well, but a lot of it's just about decency. And I think a lot of good marketing, good word of mouth marketing, involves just trying to be good. And so, anyhow, there won't be any PowerPoint today. And so, I just kind of think of this presentation as more like a chat over a beer over dinner. So, let me start with the first tip here. I got about 11 or 12 topics, just gonna fire off some points in each topic. First of all, do good work for your clients. The word gets around when a lawyer does good work for his or her clients. You have all the training in law school, or you say good amount of training, and just apply it. Do the best you can. Work hard for your clients. Word gets around. Word gets around pretty quickly. The lawyer is doing good work for his or her client. So I want to start with that. It's so basic, but it's very good long-term marketing. Second thing I'm going to bring up, which overlaps a lot with number one, is it's so important for a lawyer to be responsive. There's a very good book, and there's been several editions of this book by Jay Foomberg called How to Start and Build Your Law Practice. The number one gripe that Foomberg writes about involving attorneys, and I believe his one update of his book that came out in the late 90s, is lawyers who don't return phone calls. Was the biggest problem lawyer clients have had with lawyers. Not how they dress, not their intelligence. It's not returning phone calls. In this era, that would involve presumably not returning emails or texts. So I can't tell you how important that is. And I've seen good lawyers and good professionals in other fields lose business because the client or prospective client did not believe they returned a phone call fast enough or responsive enough. And that's human nature. Nobody wants to feel like they're trying to reach out to an unsupervised answer machine or feel like they're getting ghosted. So I really want to emphasize that's it's very good marketing to be responsive to who you are working with. Number three, I'll mention, and this is basic, write a handwritten thank you note if you have the time, or at least thank someone via email or text. Someone takes you out for dinner or coffee, could be a more senior lawyer, whatever. Just thank them. People never forget who writes them a thank you note and thanks them. Just something basic that I think can help with long-term marketing. Something else I want to mention. This gets kind of forgotten or ignored, but it's very good of an attorney to give recognition to other lawyers and staff. So when an attorney works on a case with another attorney, I frequently have heard complaints over the years. I worked so hard in that case, and Bob never recognized me when he wrote about it in his blog, or I did a lot for Jan in that case, and she never recognized my work in it. So recognize people who contributed to the work that you've done. That goes a long way. It's good long-term marketing. The other lawyers and other staff members will appreciate it. Here's an example. I was able to get a wrongful death case resolved last year. One of my workers' personal injury. And I wrote a blog about the case, and I wanted to recognize the two other law firms that were involved. They both did great work on the case as well, and the attorneys appreciated it very much. So I think giving recognition to others is a good thing. in itself. Plus, it's good marketing as well. Number five, working with other lawyers. Stuff can come up, and sometimes the lawyer you're working with may not end up being your favorite person. Some arrangements you just kind of have to bite your tongue and get through. I've heard of many situations of an attorney that had a fee division, and he or she thought the other attorney did not do enough work, and they didn't want to honor, say, the 50-50 fee division split. Try to avoid those kind of fights. Life goes on. Doesn't mean you have to work with that lawyer again. But word gets around when an attorney is not known for being good at working with others. That word gets around. So it's good marketing to do your best to work with other lawyers. And that goes along with giving lawyers recognition and staff members. Again, I've known lawyers who are good attorneys, but people don't want to work with them as much because they're not good at giving recognition or even worse, honoring agreements. Um, Something else I want to mention, this is number six, is get the help you need. I've seen good attorneys over the years have substance abuse problems or have issues with depression. And I've seen some attorneys do a good job addressing those issues. They get the help they need and they've been able to get their careers restored. For example, there's one very good attorney I know who is going through some alcohol issues. She got the help and she's doing great now. But I've seen other attorneys not get the help. And there were reports of them being drunk at bars and exhibiting different types of problems. And that can affect a lawyer's reputation. And so I advise people to get help if they need it. The Bar Association has resources. Doesn't mean your career is over if we're all going to go through some tough times. But if you're going through a problem, recognize the problem and get the right help for it. If someone has a tooth problem, they go to the dentist. If somebody's having an issue with substance abuse or depression or anxiety, they need to get the right help as well. Another tip I have for attorneys is get to know lawyers inside your practice area. For example, I'm a member of the Washington State Association for Justice, formerly the Washington State Trial Lawyers. It's a plaintiffs association group, great resources, great brief banks, great information on practice tips. And that's where I'm able to network with lawyers inside my area of practice. But it's very good to get to know lawyers outside your area of practice. I've gotten to know some estate planning lawyers over the years, divorce lawyers, criminal lawyers, business lawyers. And it's just a good way of networking. And it's just kind of interesting to me how a lot of lawyers do not know a lot of lawyers outside their practice areas. I got advice many, many years ago. This is before CLEs became very virtual, continuing legal education seminars, is maybe go to a CLE outside your practice area. It's a good way to network, good way to meet people, and a good way to market a bit too. Another tip I'll give people is when you have an opportunity to be at a private party or a public event, reach out to other people there. Find out what the plumber does. Find out more about what the doctor does. Find out more what the bookkeeper does. A little reaching out to other people can be a nice thing to do. It can also be good marketing. Over the years, I've met some good people at events, and getting to know them a bit has been good for my law practice long term. Another tip I'll give, I think this is tip number nine, is don't be shy about joining some associations outside the law. If you enjoy kayaking or cooking or basketball or art, there's so many interesting things that you can get involved with outside the law. And you can also meet some interesting people in those activities. And again, back to marketing. It's a good way to market as well. I have not done this. There is that old saying that people will often state, do as I say, not as I do. But learning a foreign language can be so good. A lot of very successful attorneys I know have a second or third language down. So I have found that to be a very successful way to market is to have a foreign language down. Um, I know learning a language is quite an undertaking, but it can be very helpful for one's career in the law or any other field. Think we're on number 11 now. Um, don't be afraid to do the extra little things that people appreciate. Here's a little example. I have a client who had an issue getting some paperwork straightened out for her personal injury case. She didn't want to do it online, and she was a little bit nervous driving out herself to meet the insurance company to exchange the information. So one day I picked up the car and drove her to the appointment. That's just one example, but little things people appreciate. If a client wants something mailed instead of emailed, maybe just snail mail to them. People appreciate the little things, and the little things can be good in the marketing area. People don't forget that. Another tip I'll share is look at giving a free presentation at, say, a community association. If you're an estate planning lawyer, maybe give a half-hour presentation at a community association about wills. If someone's a business lawyer, they could do something similar. So I think a good way to market and also give people insights about the law, where you're helping people as well, is look at some different community events. They may want someone to speak about the law. And you can be a brand new attorney and give a good presentation as well about what you're doing and so forth. Um, Another tip I'm going to give, and this is very common sense, I think we're on tip number 13 now, is pay your bills. I work a lot with doctors and other types of expert witnesses in the kind of work I do, and I pay the bills that I owe to these vendors. And when a lawyer is not known for paying his bills or her bills to vendors or other attorneys, whatever, the word gets around. So it's the right thing to do to pay your bills. It's also good marketing because people appreciate being paid right away. And sometimes I will actually pay people an advance fee to get off to a head start, to comfort the person, let them know that I mean business and I'm going to pay you right away. So paying people promptly, I think, is good marketing from a long-term standpoint. So again, the tips I have here about good word of mouth marketing. Number one, do good work for your clients. Number two, be responsive, return phone calls promptly. And if you're really busy, maybe let the client know you're busy. We'll get back to them later. People appreciate that. Writing thank you notes, or at least an email or a text, goes a long way. Giving recognition to others. Number five, working with other lawyers, honor the fee divisions. Number six, if a lawyer is having a problem, or anybody else for that matter, get the help you need. Back to torts class, you want to try to mitigate your problems, your issues. Number seven, get to know lawyers and inside and outside your practice areas. Uh, Number eight, be inclusive when at public or private events. Get to know different people. Number nine, join some fun associations or organizations outside the law. Number 10, consider learning a foreign language. Number 11, do the little extra things that people appreciate. Number 12, look at giving a free presentation at a community group or something like that. And number 13 is pay your bills. So I just want to share some basic tips about good word of mouth marketing, and feel free to call or email me anytime. PLS Law Offices at AOL.com. PLSLawoffices.com is my website. Thank you.